Hello, and thank you for joining us for Action for Healthy Kids Wellness Wednesday webinar series. Try it, you'll like it, getting kids to try new healthy foods with taste tests. My name is Ellen Dillon. I'm a Regional Field Manager for Action for Healthy Kids. We are also joined today by Cindy Brown, who is from North Carolina and is a parent volunteer who's going to share her experience with taste tests. We know today is Veterans Day, and for any of you that were off today, I hope you had an enjoyable day. And for those of you that were not off, I hope you have an opportunity to honor your veterans in your community. We're going to go ahead and get started. So first off, some quick logistics. This is a 30-minute webinar. We have a lot we're going to try to cram into this 30 minutes, but know that this is being recorded, so don't feel the need to take copious notes or anything like that. Just sit back, listen, and enjoy. You're muted by default, so you won't be able to speak to us, but please submit a question. There should be some time at the end that we'll be able to answer your questions, or if not, we'll follow up with you via email. You can choose to listen through your computer speakers or the telephone. Just look on the right-hand panel where it says audio, and you can choose which manner you'd like to hear the program. We will be following up with the recording and any other information within about 24 hours. All right, we're going to go ahead. So let me tell you a little bit about who Action for Healthy Kids is. We want to give you some background. First of all, Action for Healthy Kids fights childhood obesity, undernourishment, and physical inactivity by helping schools become healthier places. We are moms, dads, teachers, students, schools, and community leaders and school wellness experts who have banded together to create healthier learning environments for our children. We believe that everyone has a part to play in ending the nation's childhood obesity epidemic. Our programs, tools, and activities and resources make that happen. We were founded in 2002 by former Surgeon General Dr. David Thatcher. Today we have more than 60,000 members, and we partner with dozens of professional associations, government agencies, and corporations at the national and local levels. At Action for Healthy Kids, we help our members and supporters learn about the issues at hand. So our objectives for today are, we want to help you learn about taste tests and why they're important. We want to help you learn how to incorporate this into your school and your school's activities so that you can help to transform your school and your students into making your schools healthier places and your students ready to learn. So, one of the biggest issues that we face in our schools is creating a healthy school culture, a healthy school food culture. And in order to do that, we feel that it's really important that we are providing students the opportunity to learn to eat healthy as possible. So school policies and practices consistently make the healthy choices the easy and desirable one, including outside the school day and during special events. School staff role model healthy eating habits. Parent volunteers role model healthy eating habits in the classroom, the lunchroom, the hallways, the front offices, or in the teacher's lounge. Students receive consistent messages about healthy eating across all aspects of the school, during class, during snack time, for a reward, at a celebration, or a school event. We know that parents can control some of these practices and have influence over others. Changes in these areas can have a big impact on the school's overall food culture. And by offering taste tests, we know that that opportunity can really help students get a better grasp of new foods and healthy food options. So we believe that offering these really does have a benefit across the board for students. We believe that offering these through taste tests, it can help support things that are already going on in the classroom. So by providing the taste test, we can extend or further support what's happening in the classroom, whether it be in a nutrition lesson, a health lesson, a science lesson, it could be a math lesson. It really can support so many other things. It also supports the healthy offerings in the school cafeteria and at home. So we know that there have been changes to the USDA meal patterns for school breakfast and school lunch. And by ordering to offer this during our taste test, schools have an opportunity to reinforce those healthy new options through taste testing. And it encourages the consumption of healthy foods. We know, and it's been proven, that when healthy foods are offered, that students will choose them over those less healthy options. So that helps to make better choices and smarter snacks options, and it really is a better way to get kids eating healthier. It contributes to good health habits. We know that it takes a while to get kids eating healthy and choosing the healthier options. So the more often we can encourage them and provide opportunity for tasting some of these foods, we want to be able to do that. It promotes the right message. We know that if the more that we can say healthy foods are good for us, healthy foods taste good, healthy foods are fun, then there's lots of ways that students are going to grasp onto that and make that part of their habit. And it creates excitement about nutrition. So hopefully you're going to see some ideas today about taste testing and maybe something that you've done in your school, or maybe it's something that's new to you altogether. But hopefully you'll get some ideas that you'll be able to take back to your school or work with your parents, your PTAs, your nurses at your school, your food and nutrition office, whomever that might be the champion that can really take this on. And the bottom line is we do this to help make our kids who are in a classroom learn better, because we know that when kids eat right and they exercise, they're going to learn better. So we want to give them as many opportunities as we can to help them be healthy students and learn to the greatest of their ability. So today, what we're going to be doing is talking about hosting a taste test. As you can see here, we've got some pictures of taste testing, and you're going to see pictures all throughout. You'll notice some of the things about the pictures is that they include small portions that kids can grab and go and taste. And this one looks like it's tasting smoothies, perhaps during a lunch cafeteria. So, taste test. Why is the taste testing beneficial? Children are naturally picky eaters. The school environment can be a place where children learn about where food comes from and the nutritional value of food. Learning about food and watching peers and teachers try new foods can also help motivate students to taste food that they might not have experienced at home or in a cafeteria before. Taste testing foods prior to adding them to the food menu is also a way to help increase the daily menu sales and helping students try and create like a customer satisfaction type survey. And it also helps to save money for the food nutrition office by reducing food waste. So in this case, we're talking about allowing children to try new foods or products. It allows, for example, food service can launch maybe a new breakfast bar or a new lunch option before they actually put it on the menu. They can really try it out and see if it's working. It can also be an opportunity to try new healthy foods. It's amazing how many students haven't tried fresh pears or certain types of apples. And depending upon where you live, these can be readily available and very easily found at local farmers and through local organizations too. So being really creative, thinking about what's in season, and being able to capture that farm to school opportunity is a great thing too. And the bottom line, it really does create a positive association, an experience when trying new foods. It's fun. Kids are enjoying it. You can see just in this picture here, this child is enjoying what she's trying here. So who's going to do the taste testing? Well, obviously, we're doing this for students. You can do it during the school day. You can also include families during other events. Teachers can also taste the food too. You want to include them so that they can be good role models. Who are you going to involve in incorporating a taste test? Well, The first ones you probably want to touch base with are your food service and your cafeteria workers. They're going to be able to help you know what kind of foods make sense. One of the big caution tales is, it's really hard to taste new foods and then maybe find out that they'll never be able to put it on the food service line. So being able to associate something that students taste and then later being able to see it really has much more of a reinforcing and beneficial opportunity for students. But you can also involve your school nurses, your school wellness team, your teachers. Any of those can really take the lead on being involved with a taste test. You also want to help coordinate with volunteers. Talk to your parents. The PTA might have a wellness chair. We're going to hear from Cindy later about how her parents got involved with this program. But they're going to help with the prep. They can help with the distribution. They can help with the cleanup and maybe the tallying of the votes when they're doing taste testing and you're getting feedback. You can include students. You can include older students and math students to do this too. I've seen it where some schools have incorporated the students walking around with the taste testing to the classroom, and then they're the ones who are grabbing the tally sheets and then providing the feedback to the school afterwards. So that really can become a learning opportunity beyond just the nutritional components or the taste testing for it too. So what are you going to taste test? Well, as I mentioned, you can taste test new products. This is a great opportunity for schools to be able to try things that they're going to be rolling out in their breakfast or their lunch offerings. You can also do, I've seen schools do varying programs where they taste test different healthy foods. Maybe it's a vegetable one month, a fruit another month, whole grains, low-fat milk and dairy items, legumes, or other types of different proteins. It really is a way to be creative. Think about, like I said, things that are in season in your area, things that are easier to get. Maybe it's just something that you think is, something that kids haven't had in your area. There's lots of things you can do. In this picture, we see green smoothies. So where this school is incorporating, they were incorporating peaches and kale into their green smoothies. So it's lots of ways that you can try new foods and make it fun and make it something that's consistent as well. It doesn't have to be a one-time activity. It can be something that's held in multiple days. I know in one school in Michigan, for example, they do a Tasty Tuesdays, and they do taste testing, maybe one Tuesday a month. So something like that is a great way to highlight different foods too. Where are you going to do this? Well, you can do it in lots of different places. You can do it in the cafeteria because that's easy. That's where kids already are, and there is also food in this location. So you don't have to worry about food being in a place where it's not supposed to be, or food being, carried around the school. So it's already there. Kids are there. During lunch service is a great time to be able to roll out a taste test. You can set it up in one corner of the classroom or the cafeteria and have the students come to you. You can visit the students as they're sitting and having their lunch. There's lots of different ways you can make that happen. You can also take the food to the classroom. As I talked about with the one school where the students came around, they worked with parent volunteers and they traveled with a cart and went to visit classrooms, being able to incorporate it into the lessons and bringing the food to the kids. It really helped to minimize the kids traveling with the food, but the food came to them. And you can bring this to other events. That's really what's neat about taste tests is, there's so many things schools do. They do bingo, they have fitness nights, they do dances. You know what? You can incorporate a taste test during any of those events too. Here's just a list of some different ways that you can incorporate it. There's lots of different ideas on other activities you can do. You can bring it to a PTA meeting. Maybe you might want to focus on really getting parents excited about some changes to your meal menus. And, it's probably been many a year since parents have had the opportunity to taste the cafeteria foods And it might be really like eye-opening to see not only is it healthy, but it might be tasting good too. All right, I'm going to do a quick poll. And we want to see if you've ever hosted a taste test. Just take a minute. Go ahead and vote. Okay, so it looks like we're almost pretty evenly split. We have about 56% said that they have and 44% have not. So what this says to us is that we're pretty evenly distributed. That some of this is really new, and then many of us also have done this in the past. Awesome. All right, so what do you do? How do you know more about the feedback? Well, you can collect that. It's easy to do. You want to really try to make it as simple as possible. It can be as simple as a wall chart where you can go through and taste your different items and then vote on the wall. So keep it really simple. You can then take and use that data to report out to the students, to make changes in the cafeteria and the offerings, whatever it might be that you might want to do. Or you can keep it really simple with like a smiley or frowny face. You know, we know not everyone are readers. If we're thinking about our kindergarten students, you know, having a quick, you know, I liked it, it looked good, you know, what it tasted, how did it taste, you know, quick smiley face is all you need. I've also seen schools where they've done a red and green piece of paper. So students then just go and put it in a bucket or some type of cup, and that way that's how they're voting for the foods that they're trying. So really keep it simple, but you know, provide feedback to the students. Tell them, you know, that you recognize what they like and what they didn't, and maybe talk about it. It can be in an announcement, it can be just a sign in the cafeteria, but it also gives kids the power to be able to know that they have a say in what they're doing. There's lots of resources. So this today is a webinar. It's a 30-minute webinar, and we can't get through all the information that we love to be able to share with you. On our website, if you go to our website, there is a section that you can get more information. You do have to just create a login if you haven't already. But if you go to it, you're going to find activities. It's in our Game On section, and one of them is hosting a taste test. You'll find lots of resources there, including a tip sheet on how to kind of pull it all together and host a successful taste test. It provides more resources and information for you. All right, we're going to do another quick poll. And for those of you who have hosted a taste test, we want to know, where did my poll go? Nope, hold on one second. My poll seems to have disappeared. Oh, well, that's okay. We're not going to do our poll now. So we're going to go ahead and move on. You're going to be able to find all of these resources and tip sheets on our website. And if you can go to it and look around on our website, or you can also enter in Tools for Schools _ Game On. To log in, that'll get you there. And you'll also find on there our Ohio Action for Healthy Kids team has also put together a taste test toolkit. And that taste test toolkit has lots of ideas, and that's where some of the feedback forms and survey forms came from. So hopefully you'll be able to find these resources and be able to share them with others on your team. All right. So now we get to hear from Cindy, and I think everybody's going to be excited to hear from a parent who's really been working on making this happen in her school. And Cindy.
Hi, Ellen.
Great. Go ahead, Cindy.
Thank you for having me. I am the chair of our school's Healthy Vikings program, which is an award-winning program, and our mission is to encourage our children at our school to make healthier choices and to develop the habit and the desire to increase their level of exercise. So it is a volunteer-led monthly lesson that starts in October of the school year and runs until April. And then in May, we do a school-wide tasting, which my oldest is a 4th grader, so I've been doing it every year that she's been there. And the way that we set it up is we work very closely with our cafeteria staff to, first of all, get permission from our county so that they can have volunteers in the kitchen. We are fortunate enough at our school that we have a school garden that our children help plant, they help harvest, they pull sweet potatoes, things like that. So we're very fortunate to have a garden. So all of our vegetables last 2 years came from our school garden. And then the way that I got our fruit, because I also wanted to have fruit, because I knew a lot of the kids would be more likely to eat a bowl of fruit instead of a plate of vegetables, was I went to the local grocery store and just asked them for a donation and told them tried to pick things that were easy, such as blueberries, strawberries. They did donate cantaloupe, but we had time to cut everything. So like 3 days before the event, I probably had 15 volunteers that worked for 2 days prior to the event to harvest the vegetables, to cut the vegetables and the fruit, and then we bagged them up. We put them in the cafeteria refrigerator. And then the day of the event, starting with the first lunch, we just had tables outside of the cafeteria, and we plated the food. So we put like bite-sized samples of all of our samples. And what we had last year was carrots. We had 2 types of lettuces, green and red, spinach, radishes, snow peas, Swiss chard, kale, blueberries, strawberries, and cantaloupe. So we made 700 plates of a sample of each of these things, and then we would actually take it on carts into the cafeteria while the kids were already eating, gave them a plate, and then went back in afterwards just to ask for their feedback, what they liked, what they didn't like, and that's basically kind of how we did it. We did learn that we do need to have some type of maybe vinaigrette or ranch next year, just so that kids will taste the things that they're not sure of. A lot of kids didn't know what kale was or Swiss chard, and they're a little bit scared of that, so we want to make sure that they do at least try it, and we do encourage them to do that. So.
Great, Cindy. So one of the things that you had said to me was how much students did consume, and that you had very few students refuse or not participate. Were there any surprises or things that were shared with you that kind of took you by surprise during your taste testing?
A lot of kids didn't know what cantaloupe was. That was surprising to me. And we just encourage them. You know, we try to make our program completely open and just, we don't judge them if they don't know what a cantaloupe is. But we certainly encourage them, if there was something that they liked, to point to what it was, and if they didn't know what it was, we made sure that we told them, that's Swiss chard. Go home, tell your mom you tasted it today, and, you'd like for her to make you some. We really tried to encourage, even in our monthly lessons, we encourage our volunteers that, if strawberries, if it's a month where strawberries are in season, certainly take some strawberries and give each kid a strawberry during your lesson. So we kind of try to incorporate easy types of tastings even in our monthly lessons, not just our school-wide tastings. So, yeah, I mean, we were excited. Yeah. We're excited about our program because it was surprising to me that there were a lot more empty plates, which was wonderful to me, because I'm sure a lot of those kids probably had not tasted, Swiss chard or kale before. So it was a success, I think.
Awesome. And then you mentioned growing your vegetables and then getting donations. Do you have any other suggestions on ways people could find financing or to help support finding these foods elsewhere?
Well, we went to, like I said, I think it's only been 3 years that we've had our garden provide, and last year was the first year that our garden provided all of our vegetables. So in previous years, we've had to get all of the fruits and the vegetables donated. And so they were limited. You know, you have to pick and choose, like maybe go to a grocery store that you frequent a lot, they know you, where you can develop some kind of relationship with them. We use the Fresh Market here locally, and I just went directly to the manager and just, you know, said what I was doing. You don't want to put them on. They were initially put off when you say there's 700 students. You know, you want to make it clear that you're just giving them a taste. You're not giving them, you know, 10 strawberries. You're really only giving them one, so that they're not put off by that. Because really, you know, it was really only, I think we did grapes as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was really only about 8 or 9 packs of grapes that you know, accommodated 700 students. So, you know, you just have to kind of do the math in your head. I even had to, like, take a pack of grapes and count them to see exactly how many are in a pack, so I could estimate to the grocery store like how many we would actually need. So you just need to be prepared when you go to the store to ask for the donations. Most stores will donate a portion of it, and we even had another store that said if we needed extra, that they would give us gift cards so that we could purchase it ourselves. So
yeah, I was going to say that some stores might not give you the actual items, but they may give you a gift card that will help to offset the expense. You know, and depending upon programs, I mean, sometimes PTAs might have some budget. Sometimes you can work with the food service at your school to see, you know, can they help you get any items. You know, they have access to a lot of food. And then maybe local farmers and being able to connect with your local farmers might be able to help. Like I said, I know in the fall, taste testing of apples in certain parts of the country, it just makes such sense because it's there, it's readily available. We've got, you know, a lot of the orchards and things like that. So just being creative and thinking about what we have access to, what makes it easy. We do know that there are sometimes grants available that help to offset some of the costs if you're doing this on a more continual basis. And so, you know, being creative with that too is might be helpful. Do you have any other words of wisdom or some, you know, other suggestions that you might want to keep in mind when you're planning to put something like this together? I mean, 700 students is a lot of kids, so, you know, obviously there's prep and planning ahead of time.
yeah, you definitely need to plan, and you need to have, you know, volunteers for sure. I could never do it without my volunteers. So just dedicated volunteers, and just be prepared. And don't be scared though. It sounds overwhelming to feed 700 or you know, I'm sure a lot of schools have a lot more than that, but it's really not. I mean, it was fun, and I think it really allowed the kids to taste things that they'd never had before. So.
Awesome. And then we had a couple of questions that came in, and real quick, I know we're almost at the end of our 30 minutes, but how many parent volunteers were needed to carry out your event? Do you have an idea?
Probably 15.
Okay. And then how were you able to handle food allergy with the taste testing of so many students?
Well, it was fruits and vegetables, and there were no allergies. I think we did in previous years. We did a permission slip, which you could do, but we decided after last year that it really wasn't necessary because we didn't have any issues with allergies or anything like that because of the food that we were serving.
And I think it helps to, if you're working as a team and be able to talk to your school nurse and make sure that you're mindful and aware of what you're providing and any issues that might be for any students, and then being able to offer an alternative or not. Being able to just be mindful of it is important. And then communication with parents is important too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Cindy. We're going to just go ahead and start wrapping up. If you haven't followed us on Facebook or Pinterest or Twitter or YouTube or Flickr, we have lots of activities and ideas. And here's some pictures of different things that you may have seen on Pinterest, for example. We know that this is an opportunity to be able to share with like-minded parents and teachers of similar information. And if you have specific questions and you want to know more information or you need some help, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to assist you in any way that I can, or I can help guide you to some resources if you can't locate them. You can email me at trainings@actionforhealthykids.org. And that's the end of our webinar. Thank you, Cindy, for your time today. Thank you for everyone joining us, and look for your follow-up material within the next 24 hours.